Hi, I'm Jen Smith, and this is Truth Behind the Trend, where we take some of today's top self-help podcast advice and we hold it up to timely truth. And today is a big one. I'm pretty fired up. The bottom line is science can explain the brain, but it cannot heal the soul. And all self-help tries to do is heal the soul. And that's why the world is stuck. Self-help does not work. And I really want to zoom in today on what the world is teaching and ask, is this truth or is it really just trendy? And buckle up because I'm not playing that nice today. I'm pretty fired up. You're not stuck. You're starving. All right, some of these set me off. I'm not even going to lie. Mel Robbins' latest post stirred something in me that I just can't shake. It wasn't rage or conviction. It was just a soul stirring that you have to say something type of moment. So I'm obeying the call and I'm calling it like it is because somebody needs to wake up and say it. Did you ever see the movie Percy Jackson? There's this scene where they're walking through a nightclub and everything feels so magical and people are handing them these lotus flowers and they're dancing and they're eating these flowers and they don't even realize they're falling into a trance. Time is slipping away. They're getting more lost by the second and they don't even know it. Well, that's what this self-help wave is doing to the world. It sounds so empowering. It feels so productive. Thousands of people are coming and buying it, but it's the holy grail of emptiness. You think you're going to feel a little better if you high-five yourself in the mirror and make a smoothie and wake up a little bit earlier? You can romanticize your morning routine, but you're still breaking down every now and then in the shower. You wonder why your heart feels so heavy. So wake up. This is not transformation. This is sedation. Self-help is sedation. You're just starving for truth. The funny part is what set me off wasn't even some obvious worldly roll your eyes podcast advice. No, it was actually one that was really good advice. It was the kind that people cling to, the kind that sounds close enough to be truth that it feels sacred, but it's a mile from real transformation. And that's why it's so dangerous. We're not just misleading people, we're sedating them. We're building armies of high-functioning, high-achieving, deeply empty people. People who look successful online but cry in the shower. People who journal, they manifest. They do their affirmations every morning, but they still feel stuck. They still feel alone, and they still feel like something's missing. Because something is missing. And it's not a better planner. It's not a cold plunge added to the routine. It's not another morning affirmation. The missing piece, it's God. You know what's scarier than outright bad advice? Almost right advice, the kind that sounds good, feels good, goes viral and gets claps, but it misses the power. I'm talking about Mel Robbins type of content, the high-five yourself in the mirror, rewire your brain, let them instead of love them, that dopamine fix, science-backed pep talks from Harvard and Yale. And listen, I'm not here to trash Mel. She's smart, she's well-meaning, she's done the work, and she's amazing. And a lot of what she says is so close. But I'm here to tell you her formula is missing the most important piece, God. And when you follow almost truth, you don't get almost freedom. You get trapped and you get stuck in a cult of positivity where everyone is smiling on Instagram but crying in the shower. No one wants to say it out loud, but I'm going to say it. You're being programmed. Every post, every video, and every caption is conditioning you to believe that if you just say the right things, buy the right journal, do the right affirmations and the right routines, and you follow the perfect morning and just let everybody do their thing, then you're going to be free. You won't. It is a lie. Why? Because freedom doesn't come from you. It doesn't come from your habits or your checklist or your gratitude prompts. It comes from God, period. Let's break it down. One of Mel's posts says, if you want to change your life, start acting like the person that you want to become. Oh, that sounds great, right? Until you realize that you don't even know who that person is because you never stopped to ask your creator what he created you for. You're just acting like a version of you that culture made up, not the real God-breathed, purpose-driven version of who you are. You're exhausted and you're confused because you're trying to fix a spiritual problem with psychological tools. It's like taping motivational quotes all over a shattered mirror. Here's another one. Healing begins the moment you make you a priority. No, healing begins the moment you say, God, I've tried it my way. I'm done. What do you have for me? I know so many people. They journal, they ice bath, they listen to all the podcasts, they do the vision boards, and there's nothing wrong with any of these. They do their morning routines tighter than Navy SEALs. They look so together on the outside, but inside they're unraveling. Why? Because the pressure to fix themselves without a savior is crushing them. You weren't created to carry it all. Jesus literally said, come to me, all you who are weary, and I will give you rest. That's Matthew 11:28. Self-help version says, make a to-do list and meditate. But that's not rest, that's striving. Then Mel says, you can't hate yourself into change. You have to love yourself there. All right, if you're empty, how are you supposed to pour into yourself? Real love, the kind that actually transforms, comes from God. We love because he loved us first. That's 1 John 4:19. See, you've heard all this before, but they say it's from Harvard. It's not. It's from heaven. Otherwise, it's just surface fluff. Affirmations that wear off by noon. I'm sorry, but you can't hack your way to healing. You can't high-five your way to wholeness. You can't let them your way to a purpose-driven life. You need a savior, not a slogan. So what do you do if you've been drinking the Kool-Aid? Well, you don't have to become like a prairie girl or join a monastery. You don't have to sell your stuff or move to a hut somewhere. And you don't have to stop loving Mel Robbins. She's amazing and has great stuff. But if you follow her blueprint and you take God out of the equation, you are a hamster running on the wheel. None of it means anything unless you're aligned with God. You're going to feel good for a minute, and then you're going to still end up stuck. Why? Because the fuel is missing. Imagine you got a fully souped up car, new rims, custom paint, leather seats. It looks amazing, but it's just sitting there in the driveway, not moving. Why? Because you never put gas in it. That's what we're doing with self-help. There's nothing wrong. It's great, some of the stuff you're talking about, but it goes nowhere if you don't have the gas. We're decorating our lives, changing our habits, upgrading our routines, but we're still sitting in the driveway wondering why we're still stuck and we're not going anywhere. The answer is you're missing the fuel. God. Just ask him. Just whisper, hey, God, what do you say? Just don't go all in on self-help when you haven't even asked for God help. And if it were really working, why would people be so stuck? Why would they be hanging on to their every word of these podcast people? Why are there a million podcasters saying the exact same thing and no one's actually changing? It's because they're removing the one who actually transforms those hearts. And it's time we put him back in. If you're listening to a podcast and there is not even a mention of faith, and it's all routines, and it's self-focused, then it's the wrong blueprint. And you need to start asking the right questions. And it doesn't mean there's anything wrong. I say, wake up early, agree, high-five yourself, great, set your goals, dream big. All of it is there. It's all right. But if you're not doing it aligned with God and you're not asking God to reveal the dream and you're not aligned with what he wants you to do, you're just a hamster on a wheel. You will be stuck for the rest of your life. If you want to know where to start, who is God? Why would I even want to listen to him? What is the Bible? How do you read it? Did you know that this thing is 66 books in one binding? Simple, little facts. Go to B101. I created it for you and it's free. Nothing in life is free. Yes, it is. This is all free. This is a mission. This is a calling from God, aligned with God to you. And I'm not saying throw out a lot of the good stuff that people are teaching with you, but I just want to open your eyes to the fact that self-help is keeping you stuck. Just the word alone, self-help. God is all about others, not self. Get out of yourself and get into the world. Start thinking differently. When you hear a podcast, challenge it. Is God in it at all? Or is it just somebody bringing on, this guy's more important because he's from Harvard. Well, he's from Yale. Well, he's from Columbia. I really don't care what your degree says. Without God, it's worthless to me. All right, that's it on Truth Behind the Trend. I hope it gets you thinking. I hope it gets you asking questions. I hope it gets you communicating. I'm just really glad you're here. I'll see you next time on Truth Behind the Trend.